listen! Hey, listen!
The next thing I wanted to show you all was how to compare your performance to that of others of your class and role. It is called raidbots.com. More specifically, the ePeen and CompareBot. The links will be in the video summary below as well. ePeenBot shows you how you rank amongst all the other healers and DPSers that post log to World of Logs for a specific boss fight. So go to ePeen, enter your information, and it takes you to this screen. I'll show you my specs for the Shanix fight, which is one of the only fights set as standard for all classes as a good gauge of ability. So there is a chart of HPS. The little dots are where I ranked each week. The colored lines represent the percentile. So the second week of Firelands, I ranked 96 on the Shanix Heroic, which means that I did better HPS than 96% of my peers on the logs, and my little dot is above the orange line. You can also see my median and average percentile for the fight, 94 and 87 respectively, and all of the other stats. Keep in mind that rankings on World of Logs and this don't take into account the amount of healers that you bring. If you bring fewer healers, your numbers will always be higher than someone else's, so please don't let this get to your head or bring you down. The one I really love to use is CompareBot, which compares your parses to someone else in your guild, or another person that ranked higher than you on the fight. I used to do this myself with side-by-side comparisons of logs, but CompareBot makes it so much easier. First, you're going to need to go back to World of Logs and find your character page for a specific fight. I'm going to use the same Bethlac fight from last week, and copy the URL at the top, paste it into the CompareBot. Then go back to World of Logs homepage and go to Rankings, Healing, and then Firelands. Go to 25 Heroic Bethlac. Click on the Druid symbol to only show top Druid parses, or Priest or Pally, whatever you are. The key to this is to find a log that is as similar to yours as possible. Most importantly, you need to find one with the same amount of healers. I had 5 healers on this one, so that's what I need to find. Also, keep in mind you want to avoid EU servers, since sometimes their spells are in their original language. When you do find one, as I did, also check the time of the boss kill. Ours was 6 minutes and 42 seconds, and theirs was around the same time, so this looks like a good parse. Click on the class name, and again copy the URL to paste it into the CompareBot. Then hit Compare Parses. It does sometimes take a while. Alright, first thing I noticed is that this stupid druid gets Dark Intent, so I automatically hate him. Just kidding, but Dark Intent is an incredible advantage to have since it makes all your hots tick faster and get more ticks off. At this point, I might go find another parse of someone that didn't have it, because my goal is to see what I'm doing wrong against someone who is more or less equal to me. This guy has something that I just don't get, so his healing is, by default, going to be a lot more than mine. However, since we're already here, I'm just showing you around, not really analyzing my performance. We're going to stay here. We both had Bloodlust, both used Innervate twice, Healthstone, Tranquility. He used Tree Form twice, where I used it once, which is something I already noted and chastised myself for when I was looking at the logs. I used Barkskin on cooldown almost, so had it 6 times as opposed to his 1. That fight, I tend to soak a lot of boomers and damage since I'm cave healing, so that's not too surprising. And then we go to the other tabs, including healing. Keep in mind that I am Druid number 1, and the other is number 2 when we're looking at these. A lot of the discrepancy we're seeing between amount healed and heals per minute for each one is mainly due to the Dark Intent, but we need to also look at the hot uptime, which wouldn't be affected. His wild growth was much higher than mine, Life Bloom was higher, and Rejuve was about the same. This is telling me something I already know from my logs, but if you are someone that doesn't really have a good idea what to look for, this is invaluable. If you look at the Life Bloom, you'll see our healing down is actually almost identical, even though he had more hits and a higher uptime. This tells me perhaps my healing for Life Bloom is greater than his, or I used it better during Tree Form, even though I didn't have it up as much during other periods. You can have fun and poke around at the other stuff if you want, like buffs, etc. But let's look at the power gains. He got a lot more mana back from Revitalize than I did, which means that he probably has a larger mana pool than I do. So he gets more back from each proc from Life Bloom and Rejuve. Same thing with the rest of it. As a healing officer, I also look at the fact that I didn't get any mana back from Hymn of Hope, which means that my priest didn't do it at an opportune time, so it's something I'll need to address later. Hopefully this will help you understand how to read logs as a healer and analyze mistakes instead of just going off of my HPS was lower than everyone else's. If you can think of anything else you'd like to know, please leave a comment and send me a message and I'll answer it. Thank you.